Hey, this your girl, msyelladiva. I'm bringing you another episode of Married to Medicine, Season 11, Episode 17, Reviewing Part 2. All right, I got a new office. You're going to see some pictures and stuff. We got to get this together, so bear with me. Also, I had a grandbaby last week. It's my niece gave birth, but that is my baby, so that's my grandchild, and she is so cute. She is so cute. That's why you ain't get no episodes or anything from me last week, because I had a grandbaby. Anyway, all right. So let's begin. If you are new here, welcome. Let me get them claps in there. Get them claps, okay? Welcome, okay? And if you are returning, welcome back, okay? We do TV and movie reviews here, so sit back and relax. All right, give me a thumbs up, like, share, and comment, and subscribe to my channel, and we'll begin. All right, so it begins where the episode left off where Dr. Damon Daddy, they're accusing him of cheating. Dr. Contessa. Dr. Contessa. Okay. She said, well, he's human. Talking about Dr. Damon Daddy. He's human. It seems like, you're miserable. You're a miserable person to live with. So I hope he can bring some joy.
Stop it. Get some help.
Mm-hmm. Right. Okay. So listen.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Okay. All right. So you want to go at Dr. Heavenly? This what you get. This is what you get. Dr. Heavenly says, your titties are way over there, so please don't talk to me about my man when you got a botched surgery. Okay. Okay. All right. I'm sorry. Okay. Why do you continue to go after Heavenly? You bringing a knife to a gunfight, baby. Okay. So the stage is silence. It is crickets. Everybody's face like, yeah. Stop it, Contessa. Stop it. So Dr. Jackie said, you know what's sad is that they used to be good friends. And I don't think they can come back from this. We don't know. Well, then Dr. Simone chimed in saying, Dr. Contessa is hurt by the words you're saying on social media. And Dr. Heavenly was like, I have apologized for that, Simone. She said, I've already acknowledged that. Andy said, well, Dr. Heavenly, for 10 seasons, we have been talking about your social media for 10 seasons. And Dr. Heavenly was like, well, Andy, would you like for me to stop my social media? He said, no, because you ain't talking about me. You ain't talking about me, so you ain't got to stop it. But once you start talking about me, then we had that conversation. But you ain't got to stop it because you ain't talking about me. I don't blame him. Okay. So then they show the flashbacks of Dr. G and Letitia during the season. So they asked Letitia about her pregnancy journey. She said she had 2 failed IUIs attempts, but now they're talking about IVF. And so Andy was like, are you talking about that with what's that child name? Dr. Jackie. And so she was like, no, we're going through Emory. Okay. So, Andy asked, how old is Dr. G? And she said he's 56. And so, because the question came up with that, because he gave her a 2-year time frame to get pregnant. Okay, and if she don't get pregnant in 2 years, y'all gonna have to do something else. So Dr. Simone said, well, in age gap relationships, when it comes to one of the parent being elderly, she ain't say that. I said that. Okay, being elderly, it's more difficult to keep up and to help with homework and stuff like that. And then she said, Andy, you got small children. Andy, you got small children, and you 55, maybe. I think he's 55. So he knows how, that they need to keep up. Yeah, I think he does have small children. I think maybe under 5. I think they're under 5. Yeah, it is what it is. But people having babies older. Look at Janet Jackson. Look at what's her name? Kenya Moore. It's a lot of people. What's her name? Tamron Hall. She had a baby when she was like 48 or something. Yeah. So it is what it is. We got some elderly people having kids. Hey, but if you want to have a kid, you want to have a kid. That's perfectly fine. That is perfectly fine. Hell, Ashanti just had her first baby at 43. Yeah, it is what it is. Long gone the days where if you had your baby in 30, you you had a late pregnancy. Because, honey, listen, I had my baby at 36, so it is what it is. So the question, question from the audience, the viewer question, said, Letitia, give me 3 things to attract an older man. Now, she did not answer any part of this question, okay? This is what she said. Why can't we have a man to love on us, to support us, to protect us, and provide for us? And so Toya was like, yeah, I totally agree. And she was like, I didn't really think I would agree with you, but yeah, I totally agree. And so Quad was like, yes, I think a man should have all those things. And she said, and also, okay. Don't. Okay. My law and order. And also, he should listen to her. He should hear her when she speaks. I don't think it's fair to dismiss someone like that. I don't like that. And then Andy was like, are you talking about Dr. G? And she said, I am. And so then, Tisha, you so worried about Gregory. And so Quad was like, are you serious? Are you serious? And so Andy was like, I don't think she is worried about Dr. G. But she said, Quad was like, you have my scraps. And then Letitia put her middle finger up to her. That is childish, okay? Childish. Oh my God, where are you coming from? That is childish. Okay. Honey. So, so then Quad was like, listen, you crawled into his DM saying that you could give him a baby, and you have not made good on that. You have not made good on that. Okay? Okay. You have not made good on providing a baby. Okay? So, so then, Qua was like, this baby, and she was talking about Letitia, was talking about me every week on her social media. I am in her head, and you would love to be me. I know that's right, Qua. And so Letitia was like, what is it about you? You got two failed businesses or one failed business? I think it was one failed. That puppy couture line? Yeah. Well, whatever the case may be. It's a failed business. Okay. So, but then Heavenly said, well, she said nobody likes a drunk. And so she was like, yeah, she said that, she called me a drunk. And Letitia was like, yeah, you got 2 DUIs. You were alcoholic. Oh, I don't know if she didn't. You were alcoholic. And so Heavenly was like, that is disparaging. That is very disparaging. And then Qua was like, you're not going to put that on me. You ain't going to put that out there. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. And so, and then she took it back. You're not an alcoholic. You just have issues with drinking. I think Letitia.
Are you delusional? Do you suffer from a mental illness?
Yeah, anyway. The question posed to Dr. Jackie saying, how can you stand by your friend when she makes fun of someone's fertility? And Dr. Heavenly didn't even let Dr. Jackie answer the question. She said, listen, she said that my mama was in hell. Okay? She put on social media that my mama was in hell. And I clapped back and said, my mama is in hell, but she will have a better chance of having a baby than you. Okay. Okay. She will have a better chance of having a baby than you, sister girl. So she said, so that was a clap back. I wasn't making fun of her fertility issues. I was making fun of her because she called my mama. And then she said my mama was in hell. And I don't blame her, honey. That's how you get back at people. Dr. Contessa, stop it. So the men come. They have Dr. G in one area alone, and then they have all the other men in the room. Dr. Eugene saying that that King does not need to do too much work. Okay, it's Dr. G that needs to do the work to get over Quad. And I think that's what it is. So that's what he said. No, he said yeah, that Dr. G needs to have Dr. G needs to do work on himself for getting over Quad. That's what he said. I don't know why I got all tongue tied for it, but that's what he said though. Okay, so Dr. Mimi come out. Ooh, Dr. Mimi, honey, stunting on these ladies. Okay. Stunting on them, honey. Yes, stunting on them, girl. Yeah, so she come out. And so, the ladies come. Simone was like, yeah, come through, girl, come through. Yeah, stunting on them bitches. Anyway, so Dr. Mimi and because Andy asked, Dr. Mimi. They said it's a Dr. Mimi and there's just a Mimi. And she said Quad knows. And she said, because they all went out, her and Steve, and Dr. Mimi and Steve, and Quad and King. And they went out and Quad was like, she is a good time. She is a good time. She said they didn't get back till 5 a.m. And so they were talking about Dr. Mimi, and so Heavenly said Dr. Mimi is a great psychiatrist. She said she helped me work on my my parenting and my parents, not my parents, my parenting. That's what I'm trying to say. I heard a noise and I got all upset with that. Anyway, so she said she's a good psychiatrist. So Andy asked, he said a couple of things on the couple strip happened with Letitia. She asked Dr. Mimi that. And so Dr. Mimi said, well, it's hard when you're newlywed, especially when people have, you're on TV and people having opinions and the cast are having opinions and all that other stuff. She said it's hard being a newlywed with that. And so Andy said, and she said, yeah, and with this ex-wife who's on the show as well. And so Dr. Mimi said, yeah, ex-wife, other people, we could all do better. And so then Letitia said, yeah, the instigating, the comparisons of me and Quad, you can't, this is what she said. She said the comparison of me and Quad, you can lay that to rest. And Quad was like, that is to be expected. It's human nature. But she said, but you can't compete with me because you can't compare. She said, so you can't compete with where you don't compare. And so so she looking real confused. Yeah, she looking real confused. Letitia, she looking real confused. Like, did she really, is this a diss on me? That's exactly what she was looking like. Cause she was just like, cause she said, well, you can't compare to me. So, so you can't compete when you don't compare. And she was like, her face was like, is that a diss? Was that a diss? She don't know. So her face was looking confused. So it's like, so it was a diss, boo. It was a diss, okay? It was a diss, okay? So I'm just letting you know, okay? I'm letting you know it was a diss, okay? So then Mimi, Dr. Mimi, sums up all of the ladies with her observation, because it wasn't one word, because Andy said one word, but it wasn't one word, but this is her observation of all the ladies. Dr. Jackie, intentional corrective conversation. That is so true. That is so true, okay? Quad. Grief. And you have to grieve it out. I think it's not grief over her divorce with Dr. G. It's grief over her losing that baby in her pool. I think that's the grief that she's talking about. But it could be grief on Dr. G, but I think that's the grief that she's talking about when that baby drowned in her pool. Bless her heart. So she said, Dr. Heavenly, open up your inner child and nurture her, because I guess Doctor Doctor Heavenly had a bad upbringing, so she really do need to nurture that inner child. Dr. Simone, less rigid and more flexible. Yeah, Dr. Simone, you are giving Pisces bad name. Okay, I'm just letting you know. Okay, I am just letting you know you are giving Pisces a bad name, and I think I'm going to disown you because at the end, at the end of this episode, I may be disowning you. Okay, as my Pisces gang. Okay, just letting you know. Okay, because your sons is raggedy too. Okay, I'm gonna leave that alone. Anyway, so Toya, girl, you got it. You know, that's it. That's what she said about Toya. Letitia, let us know how to support you because we don't know. We don't know what's going on, honey. We don't know because you fly off the handle all the time, so we don't know how to help you. And Dr. Contessa, don't be distracted. Your high energy, put it where it's supposed to be. Okay, all right now. So the ladies leave the stage and they bring the guys on stage. Poe Eugene, his toe still hurt. I don't know what he did to that, but I don't know if it's going to be something that he got to deal with for the rest of his life. I don't know. Dr. Damon misses his kids because he's an empty nester, and all of the kids are, flew the coop. Okay, I think the middle son. I don't know what happened to this older son, but the middle son is going to dentistry school, and the baby, Alora, is in her second year of it may be third year now, but second year of FAMU. So ain't no kids in there. And then Steve, baby, I don't like your jacket. I don't like your jacket. I wasn't liking no jacket. But so Dr. Andy wants Dr. Greg and King to shake hands, and they did not. Okay, so Eugene shook Andy's hand, and that's it. So Dr. Eugene is opening a med spa. He said he has to have beautiful people or nurses or assistants to do giving the Botox, and he said that's the way of all of the med spas. You have to get beautiful people to do the Botox. And I said maybe I should apply because I'm beautiful. I'm beautiful. I may not be everybody's type, but I am beautiful. Right? So if they don't like plus size women, they should go to the next room to get their Botox. Okay, but if they like plus size women, they can come get Botox from me. Okay, because I'm beautiful and I'm sexy and I'm all of that. Okay, but if they don't like plus size women, that's fine. You go to the next room, get your Botox. Okay. Anyway, so Dr. Eugene said we got to get beautiful nurses and stuff to do the Botox. And so King said, well, will Toya be okay with you working with these women? And so, yeah, and then Toya in the back talking about, yeah, tell him, King, tell him. And so Dr. Eugene said, well, depends on how much money they making. And Toya was like, yeah, that's the guy's honest truth. So so if the money coming in, Toya ain't gonna worry about it. Toya shouldn't worry about it anyway. I don't think Dr. Eugene gonna cheat on her at all. Then they asked Steve, was his ex teammates watching the show, and he said, yeah, their wives watched the show, and he said that they're rooting for him, to come correct on the show. The question, the question, an audience or a viewer question saying that the Married to Medicine men should form a band because Dr. Scott raps, Dr. G plays the guitar, and he quote unquote sings, not really. Dr. Damon plays the drums. And then King said that he plays the horn. So the Steve was like, y'all should start a band to call it Set Me Free. No. That ain't a good band, and that's not a good name. Set Me Free. Okay, whatever. So Andy asked Dr. Damon if Letitia said you are not respected in the medical community, how does that make you feel? And so Dr. Damon said, I could care less about what your wife say. He said, I could care less. Ain't nothing that your wife can say that will crush me. And he said, but they're saying that I'm cheating, and that's bullshit. And he said, and he said, Andy, I don't even like to cuss, okay? But he's saying that is bullshit, that I am cheating. And so, then Dr. Damon goes into this whole spiel. The problem I have with you, looking at Dr. G, the problem I have with you is you know me for a long time, and you wouldn't speak up on my character. You just sat there like a coward and didn't say anything. I am a man, and I'm going to say what I feel. Okay? That's what he said. I am a man, and I'm going to say what I feel. And so all I can think about was the Golden Girls. I'm going to say what I feel. Miami's had so much appeal. Great place to get a seafood meal. Miami. Miami. Okay. Anyway, that's what I was thinking. But then I had to come back to reality. So I'm a man, and I'm gonna say what I feel. And he said, and I'm gonna tell you to your face. I ain't gonna say to any other guy. I'm gonna tell you to your face. So the ladies in the back, like, hey, Dr. Damon is something else. Dr. Heavenly was like, you read him, Dr. Damon, read him. And so Qua was like, yeah, get into it. And so, Dr. Heavenly, said Greg has a problem. Greg has a problem with accountability. So Letitia was like, shh. And so Heavenly was like, don't shush me. And so Letitia was like, you a one-trick pony. Okay. I don't know what that means. You a one-trick pony. Okay. So Cecil said, well, here's the thing. His character is being disrespected too by saying what Dr. Heavenly said. What he said, or what she said on her social media. His character is being disrespected too. And so Dr. Heavenly was like, we know what Dr. G's character is like because we know he was in a hotel. She said, that's the problem. And so Letitia was like, that ain't the problem. What you want to do? And so Dr. Heavenly like, listen, I know too much about your man. About your man. So please stop. Yes, please stop.
Stop it. Get some help.
Yeah, please stop, because she do know all the dirt. because Quad told her about your husband. Whew. Anyway, so so Dr. Mimi nudged Letitia. She said, "Yeah, you had your moment, so you need to stop." And she stopped. So they go back to the stage, and so Dr. Damon said, "If someone asked me about Dr. G's performance," he said, "I would say he is a great doctor. That's what I would say if somebody asked me." And so he said, "And Dr. Heavenly may be mad at you, but that doesn't change my opinion of you. Okay, you still a great doctor, even though my wife is mad at you. You are still a great doctor." And so then Dr. Jean was like, "But the P word is a big deal." And Dr. Damon said, "Yeah, but infidelity is a big deal too." "I'm not saying it's right." He said, "But if you have an issue with me, come talk to me. Come talk to me. But you talk to every man on this stage, except for King, because he ain't talking to King. But you talk to every man on his stage about me, and you didn't come talk to me." And so he said, "You got mad, you got in your feelings, and and then he said, you got mad, you got in your feelings, and said, I'm not gonna see his patients anymore." And so Dr. Greg was like, "No, no, no, that's not it." He said, Dr. James said, "No, that's exactly it. That's exactly what happened." And so Dr. G was like, "Okay, okay, okay, whatever. You know what happened." And so Dr. James was like, "Well, am I wrong? Am I wrong?" And so Dr. G was like, "Yeah, you're wrong. Your patients were high maintenance. And so that's why I stopped accepting your patients." And so Dr. Damon said, "No, I don't think so, because it happened right when all of this played out on social media." He said that's when it happened. He said, "So you're lying. Just say you're wrong. Just say you did it out of spite. Okay, just say that." So Dr. G was like, I'm not seeing patients. I'm not seeing your patients out of spite. I'm not about that. No, sir." So they flash back to the conference room or whatever. And so Dr. Heavenly was like, "He's such a bitch." And then Toya was like, she looking at Tisha was like, "Now you got to admit that's childish." And so, Letitia was like, I ain't got much shit, basically, is what she's saying. And so Dr. Heavenly said, "Your man disrespected himself." So Letitia was like, "Be quiet, be quiet." And so, Toya was like, "See, that's the problem in your household. Greg is the only one is speaking." Yeah, she said, "We ain't got to be quiet, because that's the problem in your household. Okay, because there's only opinion counts as Dr. G's." And I agree with that. I totally agree with that. And so Dr. Damon said, "That's what I'm talking about. Character and integrity." He said, "Those things are important to me." And then Greg starts to laugh.
This is fuck. This is not right. This is not cool. This is fucking bullshit.
Oh, hell no!
So Greg starts to laugh. And so then he says, "I'm sorry. I thought that was funny." So Dr. James said, "It isn't funny." And so Dr. G said, "Well, whatever, man. Fine. You got it. You got it." And Dr. G face spoke volumes. He looked like he wanted to come across that table and beat the dog shit out of Dr. G. He looked like he about to beat shit out of him. So Steve saw that and he interjected. He was like, listen, y'all was friends and y'all been hurt and y'all need to talk about it on one-on-one. And so they said, they can, talk about it later. But he looked like he was about to beat the shit out of him. So Dr. Greg said, I never meant to hurt you, Damon. And I see how you felt and the way you felt in that tough situation. And I'm sorry if I let you down. There you go. That's what we need. That's what we need. Okay? That's what we need. And so Dr. Damon said, I'll forgive you because God said to forgive you. So then a question comes about a vibe check with Quad. And she said, Quad is in love with her man. And she trying to lift her up and stuff like that. And so Quad in the back talking about, yes, point blank, period. Because she was talking about King. And then Andy said, well, what do you think, Curtis? And so Curtis said, well, Quad had a whole year of Dr. G and his wife. She was, a part of this group with Dr. G and his wife, and Quad didn't have a man. So, so she had to put up with a lot with Dr. G and Letitia. So then Dr. Simone in the back talking about Quad wasn't there. She could have watched it on TV and stuff. She wasn't around. She wasn't present. And then Letitia over here co-signing. And Quad said, well, first of all, I didn't really have a problem with it anyway. She said, but the fact that you shared them, you ushered them back into the group. That's the problem. That's the problem. She says, let's start with that. And so, Dr. Simone said, well, you weren't around, so we can usher who the fuck we want to usher up. Quad was like, girl, shut the fuck up. Dr. Simone said, you shut the fuck up. And so she said, you gave us your ass to kiss, so we hung out with Greg. Let me give you this right here.
Shut up, bitch.
My disappointment is immeasurable.
Yes.
And my day is ruined.
Right. My day is ruined because Dr. Simone, you are out of the Pisces game. Thank you for that comment alone. That you hung out with Greg to get back at Quad. Is that what you're doing? Is that what you're doing?
This is fucked. This is not right. This is not cool. This is fucking bullshit.
Yes, this is fucking bullshit. If you hung out with Dr. G to get back at Quad, just say you don't like Quad. Just say it, Dr. Simone. Just say it. Okay? Just say it. And your son's lazy. But just say it. Quad said, what you get mad at me for, you dirty bitch? I said, ooh. Shit. Oh my God. You dirty bitch. Okay. All right. So, Dr. Smith, okay, so they up, cause when Quad said shut the fuck up, Dr. Simone got up, and so somebody was holding Quad back, but I know Dr. Mimi and Letitia was holding Dr. Simone back, and then production came in, and so. Like I said, and then, she said, what you get mad for, you dirty bitch? I said, oh God. And so then it was a big old commotion. So then Dr. Simone said, karma is coming for you. You turn your back on people. And she getting ushered out the room. And so then Quad was like, I went to Nashville, knocking on doors and looking for your father, and you treat me like this, and so there That's what the end of the episode was. They shouting, and Simone is being taken out of the room, and Quad is shouting over here. So that's where it ended. Okay, but she did say that she helped look for your father and all that other stuff. So hey, so we'll see next week what happens. But that was the end. So give me a thumbs up. Like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace.